Hello, crypto aficionados, and we got some news for you today. It has been unveiled that Cardano and Hedera Hashgraph are working with the Central Bank of Ghana. Now, before you get all excited for this, no, it's not really going to impact price. And technically, this is not something all that new. We knew that Hedera was actually working with the Bank of Ghana since 2021 on some kind of CBDC pilot. I think they're getting closer to going live with it. So this is another big step up for HBAR. HBAR has been making some pretty good moves lately. Hasn't impacted price all that much, but they are building blocks of the future. I'm not really sure when this will impact price or if it's ever going to impact price, but let's keep a watch on that TPS meter on Hedera Hashgraph. It's been about 500 to 1,000 for a while. I know some people have told me that, like, yeah, what you're seeing right now is only the tip of the iceberg. To me, I don't really know if I believe that. 500 to 1,000 TPS is a lot. And if you're not getting any price movement at 1,000 TPS, I don't really know if industrial utility will ever get you that price you want. But I still kind of believe in HBAR because I do believe with the ecosystem with the infrastructure they've built, they can be really big on DeFi, NFTs, and ecosystem in the future, and they will actually work on that. But the partnership with Bank of Ghana is pretty cool, doing their CBDC, doing like digital ID. I think that has a lot of implications for the future. If it'll actually affect price or not, I'm not really sure. But obviously stuff like this can inspire FOMO in the bull run. And they're making really good partnerships work this way. Same thing with Cardano. We know that Cardano has been doing a lot with digital ID in Africa, and I think they're actually moving into Ghana. Now, Ghana in terms of economy is not a huge economy, but it is still, a country, and that could provide a lot of transactions and a lot of value on the blockchain ecosystem for both HBAR and Cardano. So the unveiling of this partnership, the advancement of this partnership, I think they've been trying to keep it under wraps for a while, especially on the Cardano side, but now they're actually openly talking about it. I think they might be ready to launch something that's fairly big, and both these cryptos might actually have a decent part to play in it. So hopefully they launch some really good applications on it. People will see some decent use cases. Whether it'll pump the price right now or not is secondary. I think it will get some hype in the bull run, and it'll help Cardano reach that new all-time high. Same thing with Hedera. We're still not talking about $50, $60 all-time high. For Hedera, I'm talking about $1 or $2. For Cardano, I'm talking maybe $5 to $10 based on their progression in the last bull run, and based on their own ecosystem developments. I personally think, I know they have similar supplies between Cardano and Hedera, but I do think Cardano will be at a higher price because A, it's at a higher price right now, so they have a higher base to actually go off of. B, they're more further along in their development in terms of their DeFi. You look at the TVL for both sides, and I think Cardano's focusing more on that. And also, I think there's going to be more hype generated on Cardano as well, but they're both going to have use cases in the next bull run. And I do think that will actually generate some hype, but I do think it's going to be their ecosystem that eventually carries them. So still, you're looking at 20-30x for either of these coins. Maybe Hedera has a higher multiplier because it's at a lower price right now. But overall, I think these coins are both going to do extremely well in the next bull run, and you will actually want to see at least one of these tokens in your portfolio. This is another successful partnership that they've actually announced, and hopefully they actually do something with it that actually affects the price in the next bull run. Wouldn't expect anything right now, but another decent piece of information for both Cardano and Hedera. Coinbase is going to delist a lot of coins on the 14th. They're delisting 80 trading pairs. However, don't fret. If your coin has a pair with USD, they're not delisting it, so your coin should actually be fine. So if you actually look at this, Coinbase will delist a massive 80 trading pairs on October 16th. Coinbase will delist 80 non-USD trading pairs from several of its platforms on October 16th, 2023 to improve overall market health and consolidate liquidity. Coinbase advanced trade users in eligible regions can continue trading these delisted pairs using USDC balances. The leading crypto exchange Coinbase announced it will delist 80 trading pairs from Coinbase. In the following lines, we'll outline the affected cryptocurrency. So the delisting process will only include non-USD trading pairs. So that is crucial. If you have a USD trading pair, your coin's going to be fine. So they're going to delist ACH USDT, AGLD USDT, BNT BTC, BNT Euro, Gal USDT, Sushi BTC, Sushi Ethereum, Sushi Euro, Sushi GBP, Zen BTC, Zen USDT, ZRX BTC, and ZRX Euro. It seems like Sushi's getting big delistings, and Zen's going to be affected as well. I think I don't know if that's Gala, if Gala is Gala or not, but it does seem to be mostly Tether pairs and some BTC pairs as well. The team revealed that Coinbase Advanced Trade users in eligible regions can still trade these coins using USDC balances. So you notice that Coinbase is really pushing USDC. They're basically trying to push out USDT. So I think they're trying to trade their entire USDT pairs eventually for their USDC pairs. They obviously can't do it all at once because USDT still has a lot more liquidity than USDC, but they are definitely moving in that direction. So the firm suspended trading services in September 2 when delisting Barnbridge, DreveDAO, Jupiter, Multichain, OK, and Voyager. So the thing is, I do actually believe that this is basically that transition more into USD and USDC pairs. Coinbase, I think, is going to try to become the fiat exchange of choice in the United States. And that, has a lot of money involved in it. There's probably some politics involved in this Coinbase decision as well, obviously. But if you're actually with those coins that only have non-USD trading pairs on Coinbase and have no USDC trading pairs, you might actually be in trouble. So the thing is they're mainly doing this to improve overall market health and consolidate liquidity. They want major liquidity in just a couple of pairs, mainly the USD pairs and probably the USDC pairs. So they're probably trying to move the liquidity from USDT pairs to USDC pairs and also the BTC pairs to USDT pairs. Now, the one thing that is good about exchanges doing this is the more pairs they move away from Bitcoin, the less the entire market will be dependent on Bitcoin. Yes, people still see Bitcoin as the index coin, and they're always going to kind of see that. But the thing is, as they move more and more coins from Bitcoin to USD and to USDC, the price of these coins will depend less and less on Bitcoin. One of the reasons that Bitcoin is so indexy to the entire market right now is because a lot of coins still depend on them for liquidity and to get into the market. Coinbase, other exchanges are trying to change this, and they're basically trying to stave off their Bitcoin pairs and transact into fiat pairs. Some of you might like that, some of you might not. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I actually kind of like it because I can buy it directly with fiat and not have to go through Bitcoin as a middleman. South Korea, not Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un, South Korea has started its CBDC infrastructure pilot. The pilot will include private banks and public institutions, while the Bank of International Settlements, or the BIS, will provide expert technical support. South Korea joins a growing number of nations launching central bank digital currencies. The country's central bank, the Bank of Korea, will launch the pilot project to explore the technical infrastructure for a CBDC. The joint announcement of the CBDC pilot by BOK, the Financial Services Commission, and the Financial Supervisory Service was published on October 4th. According to the announcement, the project will assess the viability of future monetary system grounded on wholesale CBDCs. I think you're going to see more countries doing this, and I think countries in Asia will actually do this before the United States. As for the US in general, it doesn't say what technology they're using, but they're probably using their own private blockchains, like most of the others. I think, like I said, countries in Asia will do this before the United States and Europe. The European people said there's at least 3 or 4 years before they get a digital euro out, an overall one, and I think it'll be probably the same for the United States, if ever. Several congressmen have voiced their open opposition against CBDCs because of privacy concerns. I think that is a concern, but I don't think that's what's eventually going to kill CBDC in the United States. I think what's going to not have CBDC do all that well in the United States is because there's just very little demand for it in the United States. Our financial transaction systems work just fine. Everyone uses Venmo or Zelle or PayPal or something. There's multiple ways, dozens of different ways to transfer money immediately at this point. So I don't think there's going to be that much of a demand. Plus, our economy, despite all people's complaints, is actually fairly stable. $1 today will buy the same thing as $1 tomorrow. When you're looking at inflation, you're looking at over years or decades. Whereas some of the other countries where Bitcoin is being used really popularly as a currency, you're seeing 40-50% inflation every 6 months, and people just can't depend on that. So I actually think a CBDC will actually fail in the West for many of the same reasons that crypto is actually not being used as currency in the West, because there's just no demand for it. And there's no government policy that can really change that. So that's why I'm not deadly afraid of a CBDC in the United States. If I was in China, I would be afraid because the government has a lot of push power. The US government doesn't have nearly as much push power, and it's much more decentralized than the Chinese government. And there's active elements in the government that want to go against a CBDC. So like if a lot of the states end up opposing it, it's just not going to fly. So, right now, Korea CBDC, they're trying to advance in that department. I'm not too concerned about it in the United States, but we'll have to see what happens. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.